Today in Algebra 1, we talked about writing relationships between variables in multiple forms. So as a reminder, I had you guys set up this chart where we can rewrite our problem in words with an equation in a table or with a graph. So we're going to go ahead and do an example here together. In this case, I have the situation that for every dollar I spend on my credit card, I earn 2.5 reward points. So that we can rewrite in words, we can write an equation for it, we can do a table, we can do a graph. Some may find it easier to start at one of these other blocks. I'm going to go ahead and work from left to right and then left to right here at the bottom. So in words, it's saying, okay, so of $1, I get 2.5 reward points. So in other words, an increase of $1 yields 2.5 points. So another way I can word that is my points, the total, goes up 2.5 points each time I spend $1. Okay, these are multiple ways of writing essentially this problem up here. Now if I was going to write this as an equation, and the reason I wrote it different ways is because some people may see it differently. Well, I had to figure out what my input and my output is. I'm assuming that my input is the dollars that I spend because my number of rewards points depend on the amount that I spend. So in this case, what that means is that since X is my independent, X is the dollar amount. So what that's saying is I'm going to just define each of these. X is the dollars spent. And Y is equal to my total points. Okay? And so what that means is if it's going up by 2.5 points each time, then for each dollar, Y equals 2.5 X. So for each dollar I spend, I get 2.5 points, and Y is my total points. So now I'm going to write my table, and if I have X and Y, which I will just relabel again, so this is the money amount, and this is the points. And so at 0, of course, I have 0 points. If I spend $1, then I get 2.5 points. If I spend $2, I get 5 points. $3, 7.5 points, and so on. I could keep going with my table. I'm going to go ahead and stop there so that I can graph. So over here on my graph, I'm going to create an X and Y axis. And just as a reminder, my independent variable is on the x-axis. My dependent variable is on the y-axis. I said my independent variable was the dollars spent, and my dependent variable was going to be the total points. Now I have to create a scale. If you're using graphing paper, this is obviously a better option than what I'm doing here with the scrap paper. So use graphing paper when you're doing this. But I can change my scale here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I also have points up to 7.5. So I'm just going to have this be 2, 4, 6, and 8. So I'll label those so you know which ones are which. Okay, so my first one, my table, I have 0.00, so I'm going to plot that. Next, I have 1, 2.5, so x is 1 and y is 2.5, which is about right here. Next, I've got 2 and 5, which is right here, and 3 and 7.5, which is right here. And those do make a line. So as the number of dollars I spin increases, so does my total points. Notice over here they increase by 2.5 each time. And I start at 0, so that's how I know that my equation is correct. That's a rate of 2.5 for each dollar spent. Hopefully that helps you. Just do that little example. If you still have problems, go back and do a couple practice problems in the textbook. They do a good job of walking you through, and I'll see you in class.